The influence of the Bible is undeniable when examining the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. This region, often called the Holy Land, holds a central place in biblical stories. Israel, the only predominantly Jewish nation in the world, is located east of the Mediterranean Sea, while Palestine is a region historically inhabited by an Arab population, with territories frequently disputed with Israel. This conflict continues mainly due to the Israeli presence in areas like the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Over the years, relations between Israel and Palestine have worsened, leading to extreme violence. To understand the roots of this conflict, we need to go back several millennia in history. Around the 1st century BC, according to biblical accounts, 3 Jewish patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, settled in the region then known as Canaan. This territory included what are now Israel, the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. Guided by a divine call, they settled in these lands, which were later called the Land of Israel, the Promised Land, Palestine, and the Holy Land. By 1000 BC, the Israelite monarchy was established by King Saul, followed by King David, who made Jerusalem the capital of his kingdom. His son, King Solomon, built the first temple in the city. After King Solomon's death, the kingdom split into two, the Kingdom of Israel in the north with Samaria as its capital, and the Kingdom of Judah in the south, with Jerusalem as its center. The region, mainly inhabited by Jews, saw numerous conquests that significantly reduced the local Jewish population. One of these dominations was by the Roman Empire, which renamed the area as the province of Judea, weakening Jewish ties to the land of Israel. During this period, Christianity, initially a Jewish sect, emerged and became the dominant faith in the last days of the Roman Empire. At the end of the Roman Empire in the 6th century, the Arabs conquered the region, thus facilitating the spread of Islam. The construction of the Dome of the Rock on the ruins of the Second Temple elevated Jerusalem to the status of a sacred city for the 3 major monotheistic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The conflict between Israel and Palestine is deeply rooted and is characterized by historical, political, cultural, and religious variables. The Bible plays a central role for many in legitimizing territorial claims and historical rights of the conflicting parties. It is important to note that there are different groups within Christianity and Islam, each with its own interpretations of the sacred scriptures. The connection between the Jews and the Holy Land, as described in the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, weaves together faith, history, and identity, shaping the Jewish experience over the centuries. This connection is deeply embedded and multifaceted, influencing not only the religious sphere but also the cultural aspect of the Jewish people. Here are some key points to understand this relationship: the promises made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The origins of this narrative take us back to biblical times when God made specific promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Among these promises, the one concerning the land of Canaan stands out, which was destined to become the Holy Land, offered as an everlasting inheritance to their descendants. This promise transcends the material, incorporating a spiritual dimension as well, ensuring victories and prosperity for Abraham's lineage. The Holy Land, or the land of Canaan, is a term loaded with deep significance in Jewish faith and history. It includes territories that today are part of Israel, Palestine, Jordan, as well as some areas of Syria and Lebanon. The Holy Land is not just a piece of land, it emerges as a place of intense spiritual significance, an epicenter that goes beyond geographical boundaries and settles at the core of Jewish identity. The divine covenant between God and the Jewish people is fundamental to understanding this unique and enduring relationship. The divine covenant is a central aspect of Jewish faith, as described in the Holy Scriptures. This covenant is fundamental to the relationship between God and the Jews. The commandments and laws given by God in the Torah provide moral and spiritual guidance. Following these principles is seen as the path to preserving this covenant and maintaining the connection between God and His people. Jewish history is marked by numerous diasporas and dispersions. The Jews have experienced periods where they were forced to leave the Holy Land, scattering across the globe. Even during these painful times of separation, they preserved the spiritual and identity significance of the Holy Land. Throughout the Babylonian exile and other diasporas, the hope of returning to the Holy Land remained an unquenchable light in Jewish narratives. The 19th and 20th centuries saw the rise of the Zionist movement, which aimed to establish a Jewish state in the Holy Land. This movement led to the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, seen as the fulfillment of a divine promise and the long-awaited return to the Holy Land. The interaction between the Jewish people and the Holy Land forms a complex panorama of faith, history, and identity. This bond goes beyond a simple geographical connection. It incorporates Jewish spirituality, establishing a solid relationship that has shaped Jewish history and identity over millennia. The Holy Land is not just a geographical location, but a pillar of the spiritual and cultural heritage of the Jewish people. It is truly a crossroads of faith and history where the world's major monotheistic religions meet, creating a context rich in meanings and conflicts. Besides the Jewish spiritual connection, there are deep ties with Islam and Christianity. For Muslims, Jerusalem and the Al-Aqsa Mosque hold immeasurable spiritual value. Mentioned in the Quran, Jerusalem is revered as the third holiest site in Islam after Mecca and Medina. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is a destination of pilgrimage and inspiration, and its religious importance is a crucial element in regional conflicts. For Christians, the Holy Land is equally important, being the setting for many events described in the New Testament. The Old City of Jerusalem houses sacred sites like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, believed to be where Jesus was crucified and buried, and the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem, traditionally considered the birthplace of Jesus. The preservation and access to these sites are vital issues for the global Christian community. The interaction among various Christian factions in the area can be complex due to the different traditions and practices that coexist. This blending of faith and history in the Holy Land creates a complex tapestry of interreligious and political relationships. Conflicts and tensions over time are often deeply rooted in religious claims. The Holy Land remains a powerful symbol and a center of spirituality for Jews, Christians, and Muslims, each bringing their own history and beliefs to this sacred place. Managing territories and preserving sacred places remain significant challenges in the region. The quest for peace often involves delicate negotiations between the involved parties. The Holy Land continues to be a center of faith and history, posing difficulties in understanding and efforts to resolve global conflicts. The conflict between Israel and Palestine goes beyond religious issues, also involving political and territorial elements. The establishment of the State of Israel in 1948 and the subsequent disputes triggered population movements and a continuous struggle related to borders, rights, and territories. Some may cite the Bible as justification for their territorial claims, while others emphasize the importance of political solutions based on dialogue and agreements. The complexity of the conflict is not limited to religious factors but also includes the aspiration for lasting peace and harmonious coexistence in the region. Therefore, it is crucial to highlight that, although the Bible plays an important role in the claims and identities of the groups, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not solely driven by this aspect. This intricate and multifaceted dispute must be approached with empathy, dialogue, and a commitment to peace. For a lasting solution, it is essential to promote mutual respect and work together towards a peaceful future. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.